Hi, these comments are for TO, and I am Michael from OTCOnline TOEFLcourse.com. And I'm getting ready to listen to your pronunciation practice. So you're working on grammatical word endings and syllable division, and you're working on a reading passage here. We're going to double check. Let's see if you're pronouncing the grammatical word endings in this particular paragraph.
Tsunami are unlike wind generate wave, which many of us may have observed on a local lake or at
Okay, so it looks like you're reading it with or without the grammatical word endings. So you're doing both paragraphs. That's what it sounds like.
tsunami are unlike wind generate wave, which many of us may have observed on a local lake or at a coastal beach, in that they are characterized as shallow water wave with long period and wavelength.
Okay?
The wind generates swell one sea at the California beach, for example, spawned by a storm out in the Pacific, and rhythmically rolling in, one wave after another, might have a period of about 10 seconds and a wavelength of 150 meters. A tsunami, on the other hand, can have a wavelength in excess of 100 kilometers and period on the order of 1 hour.
Okay, good. I love you. You make me laugh. So the only H we typically don't pronounce is hour. But all the other instances, when you should pronounce the H in the beginning of the word, you don't. And then the one time you don't need to, you do. So remember that hour, it's one of the exceptions. We don't actually pronounce the H in the beginning of the word, but in most cases, we do pronounce the H when it is in the beginning of the word. Okay, so you purposely read the paragraph and you did not pronounce a single grammatical word ending. So now in the next paragraph, you are going to pronounce the grammatical word endings. Let's see if I can hear a
Tsunamis
difference.
are unlike wind-generated waves, which many of us may have observed on a local lake or at a coastal beach, in that they are characterized as shallow water waves with long periods and wavelengths.
Good. I can hear the difference. Now don't forget with observed, it's the D. Characterized, again with a D sound.
The wind-generated swell one sees at the California
The wind generated swell.
beach, for example, spawned by a storm out in the Pacific and rhythmically rolling in, one wave after another, might have a period of about 10 seconds and a wavelength of 150 meters. A tsunami, on the other hand, can have a wavelength in excess of 100 kilometers and period on the order of 1 hour.
Okay, so I think that you did pronounce the two paragraphs distinctly differently, and that's what you were supposed to do. So in the first paragraph, you didn't pronounce any of the grammatical word endings. In the second paragraph, you did indeed you pronounced most of the words with grammatical word endings. Just be careful of the ed when it's at the end, especially after voice consonants. You want to pronounce it as a D, like generated, no, observed, characterized. With those, just make sure you pronounce those more clearly as a D sound. But for the most part, I think you get what I was teaching you in the lesson. So good job on that.